She really does not know that we're all part of the creator economy. And in an economy, they are the producers, the distributors, or the consumers. If you're not creating content or somewhere in the supply chain, somewhere in the piece that makes this economy run, even if you're not creating content, you're helping someone else earn income. You're helping someone else make money.
I don't have to party to have fun, you see. I got different hobbies, and that's all I need. Some say life is boring, but I disagree. I wake up and live my dream.
The other day I flew down to Johannesburg from Cape Town, and I started really thinking about how many of us have this really one-dimensional view of what the creator economy is all about. Many of us see the brand deals, and that's what we think it is all about, not knowing how there are so many layers to this thing. We think that, for example, the only people who are distributors like Meta, which is Facebook, as well as WhatsApp and Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest and LinkedIn, that's it, and we can never be players in it. But if you look, for example, in the African continent, you think about M-Pesa, you think about the platforms that we've created, the payment platforms, the learning platforms, people who are on the legal side, regulation. We look at people who are part of the market analysts, people who are setting the terms on how we do things, the agencies. There's so much going on that many people don't know about. And the fact that majority of us are already part of this industry, either making money or helping someone else earn income, it's important that we actually expand our thinking because there's so much more to it. And there's a piece of the pie actually waiting for you to grab a hold of it if you only knew. You're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, I don't know much. I like sewing, I do golf, I'm in mining, I'm an engineer, I do the boring stuff. Not knowing that there are so many people doing the boring stuff and earning much more than us slowly. Beauty, lifestyle, motherhood, content creators. This conversation right here is overdue, and by the time you finish, you'll know what piece of the pie you can get out of it without even having to learn new skills, but maybe just re-engineering and shifting your perspective could help you earn a little piece of this $17.8 billion industry that is growing on Africa right now. Hey, if we haven't made it before, I'm Kubana Shimanga and welcome back to my channel. This is how I do things, where I tell you a little bit of how I get around living this life as a content creator, a mother of three, a health and fitness fanatic, as well as a content creator. So when I flew down to Joburg for this campaign, I went to shoot a podcast episode, which will be coming out quite soon, for a brand, and they paid me to be there. And many people think that that's basically the beginning and the end of how money is made in the creator economy. You have content creators, you have a brand that's going to pay them, that's cut and dry. But we don't even see everything that's attached to that. There is the property where that content was being created. There are the cameras and the camera equipment that was there, the lighting, the paint, the studio equipment, the producers, the directors, the set management, the set staff. There's the brand itself, the agency that is in between the brand and me, that is doing the work to get the money from one place to another and trading the money for access to an audience who is you, who is watching this content and consuming it. There's so many other players in the creator economy. This is why you see such big brands such as Microsoft and PayPal and Adobe being so interested in working with creators, because they understand the more this economy thrives, the more our equipment, the more our software, the more our payment processes are going to have work, and that money runs through us. Let's just break down what an economy is. When we break down what an economy is, it is supply and demand. Very simply put, right? So we have the supply, which is the content that we see online. And so much more goes into that content other than just seeing a video or a blog or a podcast or whatever type of content that you consume. Then there is the demand side. This is all the consumption that happens. This is me and you right now consuming that content. We are creating demand. When we say, I don't see soccer content, or I want to see things on Formula One, or I want to read how it is to be a structural engineer in Kenya. That's demand. That is when we're consuming something and then we want more of it, we create demand. Then wedged in right in between that is then the distribution. And the distribution is not just Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. It is also the blog sites, the content aggregators. These are other marketplaces that are being consumed by innovative Africans on this continent, making us find new ways of getting content from supply side to demand side so that we are all happy consuming and that we're having a good time. Secondly, a lot of people then want to know, listen, I hear this and it is great, but I'm not good at creating content and I'm not going to be building a Microsoft or an Adobe anytime soon. So how do you show me the money? Okay, you said that there are ways that we can earn from this creator economy without having to be the ones building the next Facebook or being a content creator. So where's the money? As a person who is creating and distributing content, you are able to earn from your audience, meaning that I am selling something directly to my audience, whether it's t-shirts, courses, or event tickets. I am directly selling to my audience. Secondly is to earn from the platforms themselves. YouTube pays me for the content I put up based on the number of views that I have, because they sell those views to advertisers, right? So YouTube is earning income one way, but I'm earning from the platform itself. And the third way as a content creator is then through brands, which is what you know. But there's another way, which is through advertising. So if I'm running a blog, for example, some of our favorite online platforms, Business Tech, we can look at The Cut, we can look at Time Magazine that also does content online. They earn from advertisers. They can just place an ad on their websites, blog sites, and earn income from that, or have collaborations where they deliberately create content to create blog posts around the brand and then get paid for it. You don't actually have to be a big brand to do this. You can aggregate content on anything, whether it is mining, engineering, swimming, sewing, golf, whatever interest you have. Even if you're the person not writing the content, but you are aggregating content. What I mean is that you are finding really great content sources, pulling them together on one website so that if people are interested in what is on that website, they will come there. Because advertisers, all they want is traffic. So if you are getting the traffic onto that website by aggregating and pulling together stories according to a specific niche, and that traffic is then being paid for by ads that brands want to show to that traffic, that's another way that you are earning. Even in that perspective, I'm still being very one-dimensional on who is earning income in the creator economy. We tend to only think about the content creators themselves. But what about the platform builders and the infrastructure? Yes, we know Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, plus other tools underneath that, like the editing software, your CapCut, your CRM tools like MailChimp, ConvertKit, and Go High Level, for example. But if we actually look at things like fintech in South Africa, we have M-Pesa, we have MTN Momo, and other native platforms like CrowdPen and Coachly and Paystack and Payfast and Orange. All of these platforms were created by ordinary people and they grew from there. And that's another layer of people who are earning. We look at intermediaries. These are talent agencies and aggregators. Multi-channel networks and agencies are people who manage content creators in order for them to earn income in various ways, whether they're selling merchandise or working with brands. Being in talent management is big business, and anyone who has the ability to be organized and do good negotiation can become a talent manager for the creators who are then pulling in the money in various ways. We then have the advertisers, brands, and media buyers. All these products that are advertising through content creators, they are not in the content creator industry. They're not creating content themselves, but they are paying people who are in the content creation industry. So even if you have a t-shirt business and you want to work with a content creator, you are putting money into the creator economy by being an advertiser. There's regulators and policymakers, especially in places like Kenya and South Africa. We have started to generate and craft policies and disclosures and rules around copyrights and advertising. And there are people who work in that specific field, specifically looking at the creator industry. Policymakers and regulators are a very important part of the creator economy infrastructure. And if you're a person who loves the legal side of things, that could be a career path that you can decide to focus on, because this is one of the few sectors that people see growing in ever-changing times, even with AI. We have market analysts, researchers, data and intelligence providers. These are people who like doing trend reports as well as sizing up the market to see how it is. So are they content creators? Maybe, because they are distributing blogs and articles on the internet in order for them to distribute their reports. But their main job is actually aggregating intelligence, putting it out, doing research, and analyzing what this economy is all about. We have programmers, schedulers, curators. These are people who are looking at what content is going on and where should it go. These are media buyers as well. When people see UGC content and they want to put money behind it to get more reach, a lot of these people work within agencies, and they're transitioning from traditional media, analog way of doing things, and getting onto the digital platforms where this content actually lives. And then obviously there is tax law and all of that other infrastructure. In South Africa, for example, SARS has decided that they want the content creators' money. So they are coming after us for our taxes. Who's going to be doing those taxes? Because it is a new way of looking at things. Everything from how much are the content creators earning, trade exchanges, gifts that we are getting, all of that needs to go into our taxes and calculated into our taxable income. Oh my gosh. It's a new way of doing things. And if you want to specialize in that as a tax accountant, I think you do very well for yourself to attract a whole new audience and be part of a growing market. Then finally, there is the fans and the consumers. It's not a lot of work to be a fan and a consumer, but you're a very important part of the creator industry. Because of you, we are able to earn. And I'm so grateful for you. I just want to let you know that by you watching my video, you are helping me earn from this platform. You're also helping brands see me so that I can work with them. You are helping validate if I'm a valuable person to work with. So you are an important part of the content creator industry. Are you getting paid for it? No, but you're helping me get paid for it. So don't skip my ads, please. I've put together a quick one-pager on earner creators, basically different ways that you can earn from the content creator industry. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't know where I want to get started, but I want a piece of this pie, head down to my description. I'll put a link for you to sign up to my How I Do Things blog, and I'll send you a copy of this guide on the different ways that you can earn from the content creator industry and maybe where you can get started. Lastly is then, okay, cool. So how do I then get my piece of the pie? Africa is a whole market of its own. We are different from the US because many of these platforms are US first. When we look at Substack, for example, as South Africans, there's no direct way we can pull income from Substack. So there's this huge gap and this huge problem that we have as African content creators, that we have to adapt to platforms that weren't actually made for us. But the African continent is actually the place where the creator economy is seen to have the most growth over the next 5 years. And when we see which parts of the African continent have the most influence, Nigeria at the top of the list, followed by South Africa and then Kenya. There's massive growth happening, but these platforms weren't made for us. Yes, there's great potential, but I think that we're going to far surpass that $17.8 billion projection because the world tends to underestimate Africans and we are more innovative than what most people know. So not only are we going to find solutions for us to get paid, but we also will find solutions for us to create our own platforms. There's a huge gap in the market for Africa first platforms, or even being able to adapt platforms that were US based into the African continent. This economy is only growing. And what I want for us is to push ourselves beyond the limits of thinking of just only becoming a content creator. I respect content creators. I'm a content creator. But there's so much space and room for us to grow, and we can be creative about how do we want to enter this and how big do we want our slice of the pie to be. The more money is being generated in this economy on the specific continent, the more there are going to be investors. Another layer of people who are not only earning but putting money into this economy. So where do you want to play? Do you want to be just a consumer? Do you want to be a person who develops something so that we can distribute content? Or do you want to be a producer of a special niche of content that there's huge demand for but very little supply? Hey gorgeous, I'm literally editing this video right now and I realized that, wait a minute, there's no ending. I didn't end this, and it's probably because I had to rush off to go pick up my daughter. So thank you so much for watching. That's it. That's all the points I wanted to make, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you'd like to see more content like this, and give me a comment down below. I have 400 other episodes of How I Do Things that you can watch, and if you like more of the content on relationships, intimacy, on benties and more, make sure that you head over to my blog kopanashimanga.com/HIDT. That's also where you'll find the free resource that I was talking about. But until later days, gorgeous, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.